If you're carrying federal student loan debt in 2026, the government just rewrote the rules on you. And if you do nothing, if you let them auto-enroll you, if you pick the wrong plan, if you miss one deadline, you are not just going to pay more interest. You are going to bleed the exact capital meant to buy your freedom, guaranteeing that you'll still be on the clock at age 75. In the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, yes, that is the actual name of the law, I am not making that up, has completely rewritten the rulebook. The heavily subsidized low payment you might have gotten comfortable with, it's officially dead. So here's what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to walk you through three things. 1, the legacy plans that are marked for death and the exact dates they die. 2, how the new Repayment Assistance Plan, or RAP, actually calculates what you owe, because the math is a complete departure from anything you've seen before. And 3, the strict 2026 deadlines you absolutely cannot afford to miss. And hey, if you are a late starter, if you feel behind on saving for your future, if you are trying to untangle a mess of financial rules to catch up, subscribe to the channel. That's literally what we do here. No shame, no judgment, just the math and the way out. All right, let me cut right to the noise. Generation X and our elder millennial friends, we carry the highest average student loan debt balance of any generations, over $44,000 on average. A lot of you are carrying your own debt from decades ago, and a lot of you are carrying Parent Plus loans for your kids, and some of you, and I'm very sorry, are carrying both. And you are standing at the worst possible intersection. Your peak earning years are on one side. A rapidly closing window to safer retirement is on the other. And right at that intersection, the government passed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Beautiful for the federal deficit, maybe, because what it actually does is shift the financial burden directly back on you. So for your wallet, it requires a strategy, and that's what I'm going to give you. Starting July 1st, 2026, the entire landscape of federal student loans shifts. So today we are walking through every single repayment option that exists under the new law. The math, the eligibility, the next move. I'm going to keep it simple, but I'm not going to bullshit you. The stakes are way too high for that. So let's start with the funeral. If you are currently on the SAVE plan, the PAYE plan, or the ICR plan, listen to me carefully. These plans are marked for death. Under the new law, the Repayment Assistance Plan, RAP, replaces most existing income-driven plans starting July 1st, 2026. The clock is ticking on the rest. By July 2028, the old income-based repayment plan, the IBR, will be permanently closed to new borrowers. Here's the part that no one is going to tell you. You do not, I repeat, you do not want the government picking your repayment plan for you when these transitions happen. You're going to want to run the numbers yourself, so that is what we are going to do. So, plan number 1, the Repayment Assistance Plan, RAP. Effective July 1st, 2026, RAP becomes the absolute standard. In fact, and I need you to hear this, if you take out any new federal student loans after July 1st, 2026, this will be the only income-driven option available to you, period. Here are the mechanics. Embrace yourself because this is a massive departure from the old rules. The previous plans, SAVE and the rest of them, protected a chunk of your income using federal poverty guidelines. They only tax what they called your discretionary income. RAP does not care about the poverty guideline. RAP calculates your payment based on your entire adjusted gross income, your AGI, from $1. It works on a progressive scale, like the tax brackets. If your AGI is between $10,000 and $20,000, your payment is 1% of your AGI. It scales up 1% for every $10,000 you make. And if your AGI is $100,000 or more, you hit the cap, a flat 10% of your entire gross adjusted income. Let me show you what that actually means. If you earn $100,000, 10% is $10,000 a year. That's roughly $833 a month. Under the old SAVE plan, your payment would have been drastically lower because the poverty line shield was doing the heavy lifting. Under RAP, that shield is gone. And one more thing, there are no more $0 payments. Everyone, regardless of income, is subject to a hard minimum payment of $10 a month, $10 every month, no exceptions. All right, I know that AGI stings, but I promise you the blunt truth. And the blunt truth is that RAP actually throws you a couple of serious lifelines. So let me give them to you. First, RAP provides absolute negative amortization protection. All right, just a quick pause. What is amortization? Because it's not a word that a lot of us are going to be familiar with. Essentially, it's just a schedule for killing off a big loan by making the exact same small payments every month. All right, now that we know what it is, let's get back to it. In plain English, 100% of your unpaid interest is waived every single month. Your total loan balance can never exceed your initial principal. RAP permanently stops your balance from growing. That alone is a big deal. Second, if your monthly income doesn't make a dent in the principal, there is an active principal reduction subsidy. The government applies up to $50 of your monthly payment directly towards your principal. Mathematically guaranteed, your balance goes down over time. Third, RAP gives you a break for your family size. Your payment is reduced by a flat $50 per month for each dependent child. Got 3 kids at home? That's $150 off your monthly payment. And fourth, and this one is a quiet planning opportunity most people are going to miss. The married filing separately loophole survived. If you are married and you file taxes separately, RAP will legally exclude your spouse's income from the calculation. If your spouse makes a high income and you don't, that one decision could rewrite your entire repayment math. And finally, the light at the end of the tunnel. RAP does offer forgiveness. But, and this is a big but, the timeline is long. The OBBBA strictly mandates 360 payments. That's 30 years for full forgiveness under RAP. The only exception is public service loan forgiveness, which stays at 10 years. All right, that's RAP. But if you hate the idea of your payments fluctuating with your income, or if your payment is so high that RAP mathematically ruins you, you are going to want to look at plan number 2, the tiered standard plan. This is the new default plan replacing the old 10-year standard plan for all new borrowers after July 1st, 2026. And the mechanics are dead simple. It's a fixed monthly payment designed to pay your loan off entirely. The length of your repayment term is dictated entirely by how much you owe. So if you owe $40,000, you're on a 15-year fixed schedule. If you owe $110,000, you're on a 25-year schedule. Who's eligible? Everyone with a new loan after July 1st, 2026. The brutal math here is there is absolutely no forgiveness. It's a traditional amortization schedule. You pay the principal, you pay the interest. You bring the balance to zero. The end. But here's the light at the end of the tunnel. Certainty. Your payment will never change, no matter how much your income goes up. So if you are a high-income earner or if you expect to make significantly more money in your 50s, locking in the tiered standard plan protects you from that 10% AGI tax on RAP. For some of you, that's going to be the right call. All right, let's take a second. This map is heavy, and I know your head might be spinning. If you're feeling a knot in your stomach right now, yeah, that is a completely normal reaction to a system that was designed on purpose to be this overly complicated. So take a breath. It's totally okay. Now, before we get to the legacy plans and the massive trap waiting for Parent Plus borrowers, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, just tell me, are you mostly dealing with your own student loan debt from years ago? Or are you carrying Parent Plus loans for your kids? Or, and I'm really sorry if this is true for you, is it both? Let me know. We are all trying to untangle this together, and knowing where you stand helps me make the exact videos you actually need next. All right, let's get back to work. We need to talk about Parent Plus loans. If you're a Gen X parent or an elder millennial holding this debt, please pay very close attention to this next sentence. You might have heard financial advisors or internet forums talking about the so-called double consolidation loophole, a way to get your Parent Plus loans into a better repayment plan. I need you to wipe that from your memory, like completely. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act killed the double consolidation loophole. It is gone. It is obsolete. If you try double consolidation now, you are not just spinning your wheels, you are burning critical processing time you cannot get back. Instead, the Department of Education has set up what they are calling a single consolidation pathway. And here's the deadline you need to circle in red ink: June 30th, 2026. That is your absolute, no exceptions deadline to consolidate your Parent Plus loans to the single pathway if you want any hope of accessing a surviving income-driven plan. If you wait until July 1st, the door slams shut. Your only option will be the tiered standard plan with no forgiveness. Please do not wait until the last minute on this. The loan servicers are going to be completely overwhelmed. Processing delays will not save you from the deadline. The clock does not care that they were busy. Which brings us to plan number 3, the legacy fixed term plans. This includes the old 10-year standard, the graduated plan, and the extended plan. The status is active, but it's highly restricted. To use these plans, you must have absolutely zero new loans dispersed on or after July 1st, 2026. Not one. If you take out a single new loan after that date, you lose access to these legacy plans for your entire portfolio. If you are using a legacy fixed-term plan like the graduated or extended plan, your existing loans are grandfathered in. But listen to this. If you take out a single new loan after July 1st, 2026, that new money plays by the new rules. You are legally banned from putting that new debt into a legacy plan. It will be forced into new wrap or a new tiered standard plan. The good news? It doesn't contaminate your old debt. Your existing portfolio stays right where it is, meaning you'll just be managing 2 different sets of rules for your old and your new loans. The mechanics are exactly what they sound like. The standard plan pays off in 10 years. The graduated plan starts with interest-only payments and then steps up every 2 years. The extended plan stretches the payments out over 25 years if you owe more than $30,000. And once again, here is that brutal math. The graduated and extended plans are traps for anyone seeking forgiveness. Payments made on these plans strictly do not count towards public loan forgiveness or income-driven repayment forgiveness. Let me say that again because I really need this one to land. If you spend 15 years on an extended plan and then you realize you can't afford it and you try to switch to an IDR plan to get forgiveness, those 15 years count for 0. You start over. These plans offer no negative amortization protection, no interest subsidies. They are simply amortization schedules designed to stretch your debt out, so your monthly payments look artificially affordable, while the government quietly collects decades of interest from you. The only light at the end of the tunnel here is that if you actually make all the payments, your balance eventually hits 0, but you will have paid a small fortune for the privilege. So, where does this leave you? If you are taking out new loans, you are choosing between the AGI hit of the new WRAP plan or the fixed timeline of the tiered standard plan. I'd put a link to a free calculator in the description below so you can run the exact math for your own household. If you have Parent Plus loans, you are on a ticking clock to consolidate before June 30th of this year. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act was designed to recover revenue. It was designed to make you pay. That's just what it does. But, and this is a part that I want you to take with you, they cannot make you pay more than the law demands. You do have leverage. You can protect your income. You can use the married filing separately rules if they apply to your household. You can max out your pre-tax retirement contributions to lower your AGI, which lowers your WRAP payments, which protects your nest egg. You can mathematically beat this system. You are not hopelessly behind. You just needed a blueprint, and now you have it. But here is another truth, and I'm only going to say this once, so listen. Getting your monthly payment right is step 1. That is all it is, step 1. If you are in your 50s or you're pushing 50, every single dollar you send to the Department of Education is a dollar that is not compounding in your retirement account. And because of the OBBBA, the math of student loan forgiveness had fundamentally changed for late starters. Relying on a 30-year forgiveness timeline when you're 54 years old, that's a dangerous game. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. So you need to see the retirement math, the other side of this. That is why I want you to click on this video right here. Student loan forgiveness is ending. What every borrower over 50 must do now. This is the missing piece. This video specifically dives into how these 2026 rules hit your 401k, your catch-up contributions, and your timeline to finally quit working. Protecting your future is the priority. Click that video and I'll see you over there to finish the plan.